do the
That's a
work.
good point. And I guess, one of the promises I made is that we will try to educate our business sectors where the washing is going on. And that's a strong point that we can make in that mailing that will help you guys.
Who gets the fine?
Well, as far as Robert said, well, who gets the fine? From a logical standpoint, it's the person generating, the business owner hires you guys. You guys are the ones that are tasked with washing. If you're tasked with pulling the runoff, then from a logical standpoint, you guys are mostly responsible. If the business owner has somehow played a part in it, then we can hold, in our ordinance, we call it a person who's responsible. And that can be the business owner, when the washing is being done, or whoever's doing the washing, or anybody tied to that operation can be held liable. But generally, we hold the business owner doing the washing activity or doing the polluting responsible.
I just want to thank Charlotte Hecklenburg Utilities for having these workshops, working with contract cleaners. Believe it or not, there's really some great professionals out here that care about what we do and how we do it. And just want to thank you for putting these workshops on. And I look forward to driving 3 more hours coming back again.
Okay. One thing, somebody passed a note up here, they wanted me to mention that if you take any water out of fire hydrants in Medford County, you have to have a permit. I just wanted to underline that. If you're taking water out of a fire hydrant, you're supposed to have a permit to do that. And if you are doing it without a permit, then you're subject to a fine. So just wanted to make you aware of that.
And UAMCC, if you notice on the agenda, we wanted to give Carlos, if you want to take this opportunity to say a couple closing comments, but we are running behind schedule.
Thanks, Craig. I appreciate it. I came here today and I know what to expect. And, all of us as contractors, we, for the last 3 hours, we sat here and we watched several slide presentations with words such as filtration, hydrocarbons, recycle, biosolids, dam booms. I had to write them all down. Vacuum booms, absorbent booms, mobile power wash, recycle units. And, as a contractor, and this is something that some of my colleagues in the industry know this, and I've been asking this for years, is as contractors, as relates to the Clean Water Act, what we're interested in is just telling us what we need to do. The fancy words, the BMPs, the slideshows, yeah, we definitely need that. But at the end of the day, when we go back to our own businesses and we leave sessions such as this, I think a lot of us leave with more questions than answers. We've got this handout that the City of Charlotte gave us today. What does that all mean? When you're out there working a rig, or you're working a gutter line on a residential property, or you're doing a commercial job, at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this is where I think the industry in itself really needs to work together and come up with some viable answers to some of these questions that we constantly hear at every roundtable. All these fancy words. Just tell us what we need to do. Put it in plain English. Show us what we need to do in order for us to be in compliance. Since January, the City of Charlotte and the UAMCC has been working together on this particular subject, and I want to thank both Rusty, Regina, and certainly Craig for being attentive and also open to our concerns throughout the last 4 months. The UAMCC, we're not here to regulate. We're not here to make life difficult for contractors, but we are here to ensure that those that do regulate us, such as the cities, such as the counties, that they hear our concerns and that they hear it in a loud way. Are the BMPs that you have today in front of you ones that you're going to walk home with or walk back to your business and kind of scratch your head and say, what does all this mean? Are they perfect? No, they're not. They are not perfect. But it's a start. It's a start for the city, start for the county, and certainly a start for the industry to work together with future workshops here in the state, here in the county, that will certainly involve you contractors. But they're not perfect today. And I don't think the city or the county is alluding to the fact that they are perfect. We, as an industry, from an organizational standpoint, we acknowledge that they're not perfect, but they certainly have come a long way since January. The city and the county has conceded on a lot of areas of the BMPs, where at the beginning, they were kind of stuck in their ways about certain things. And Regina's laughing, she knows what I'm talking about. But I certainly applaud the city for doing this. What are the goals here? What's the day after? What happens tomorrow, the next day, and the next week with all this stuff that we heard today? Does it just get pushed under the rug until someone gets violated or someone gets fined? Our goal here is to help and assist the contractor to understand these BMPs. I don't understand them. And I've been reading them for quite some time, and I still don't quite get it. I'm the type of guy that I need to look at something 5 or 6 times, put the boom down on the ground, that's when I get it. And that is one of the responsibilities or the goals that the UAEFCC has for the contractor community. We want to take these fancy words and put it in plain English to you. That's basically it. We're asking the local contractors to get involved. This stuff that's happening here is in your backyard. This is where you do your business. So we're asking the local contractor community to get involved with the workshops. You don't need to be a UAMCC member to get involved. This isn't about the UAMCC. This is about the industry in general. We need for you to tell us what is working and what is working and what is not working. The BMPs that Rusty and Regina and Craig have put out, if you remember, they mentioned that these could be changed. Well, the only way that they could be changed is if you, the contractor, let us know what's going on out there. Everything may look great on paper, but again, as I said, when you're out on a commercial job at 3, 4 in the morning, sometimes it's not practical to apply what is on paper. We need to know about it, and certainly the city and the county, I'm sure, welcomes that kind of dialogue from the industry. Again, we want to make sure that the BMPs are fair and practical within the guidelines of the Clean Water Act. There are certain limitations that we have as an industry, and certainly certain limitations that the state and also the county has as it relates to the Clean Water Act. But we want to make sure that they are fair and practical. Future workshops. There will be future workshops or seminars, conference calls, or what have you, as relates to what's going on here at the City of Charlotte. And again, the UAMCC is going to be involved in that, not to regulate, but also just to make sure that our concerns, your concerns as contractors are heard. And again, it could come from, the networks in the state. You got PWNC over here. You got CETA represented here. It's about unification. It's about making sure that the contractor is represented. I'm going to give about 3 minutes to, if I can, Craig, to Michael, who's also part of the UAMCC transition team. Michael comes to us from Kentucky, which is not too far up north from the Carolinas here. But again, I want to thank all the contractors for coming here. If you have any questions about the UAMCC or any other organization that's represented here, feel free to pull me aside, and I'll be more than willing to talk to you about some of our goals and objectives in the upcoming months. Michael?